Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here and it's weatherweb.net. It is Friday the 6th of September. Thanks again for watching. As always, we're kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. It's when you come back and use the site and use the adverts, that's what generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Now it's Friday, so it's our regular long-range look ahead. And the forecast from the Japanese Meteorological Agency is available. This is the forecast for week 1, taking us through to the 13th of September. And what you notice here are lower than normal heights down towards the south of the UK, higher than normal heights up here towards the north. And really that's pretty in tune with other models showing that high pressure is probably going to be the dominant feature towards the north and the west of the country through the coming week. Low pressure down towards the south and the east. And as that low drifts into the North Sea next week, we find a more northerly flow down eastern parts of the country, bringing cold weather there and some outbreaks of rain at times, but more northern, western and southern areas tend to be in the drier conditions. Now into week 2, so this is the forecast running from the 14th through to the 20th of September, and this again shows higher than normal heights look across the Atlantic, lower than normal across Greenland, and what that does is it strengthens the jet here to the north of the UK. Now that means that a ridge of high pressure can try to build into more southern parts of the British Isles. So I think what the Japanese are trying to hint at here is the idea that the southern half of the UK, so particularly I think across southern England, southern Wales, southern Ireland, will become drier with sunny spells during this period. Now for me, I think this doesn't really kick off until about the 17th or the 18th, so I think that's the critical date for us. But what it does mean is still some outbreaks of rain on a westerly flow across Scotland and also across Northern Ireland. I think this whole feature's a little bit too far north. I think it's going to be a little bit further south, but I think the overall tail is there of pressure building. And then the week 4 forecast, so week 3 and 4 forecast. So this is taking us forward from the 21st of September right the way then through until the 5th of October. And this is showing us that pressure remains high generally across the country, with higher than normal heights, lower than normal look across Greenland again, and the idea of this flow coming in between northern Scotland and Iceland, that jet stream still being present there. Now, with the high tending to dominate things, this looks as if it leads us into a drier end to the month. Now, I think there's some confusion in here because we're back again to this problem with the tropical storm season that hasn't really got going. Now, I do think that by the end of September, we are probably going to be seeing something in the Atlantic, and if that comes through, it could disrupt these plans. So, for me, I think we need to look at the period from around the 18th through to around the 23rd as being a drier spell and probably quite fair across the country with some good sunny spells. I then think we're going to be seeing a breakdown between about the 24th and the 27th, just a soft breakdown, but I do think we might be seeing more unsettled conditions to end the month, taking us through from the 27th of September perhaps until about the very end of the month, so around the 30th of the month, before we go into a drier start to October. So I don't think this is giving us the detail, although the overall is probably about right. And the CFS is saying similar things as well. This is the CFS for week 1. Look, there's our higher than normal heights that we've just seen on the Japanese, and there's our low than normal heights down towards the south. So good agreement between those two. Week 2 forecast is showing us with higher than normal heights out towards the west, low than normal towards the south and also towards the east. This is higher pressure building in here from the Azores High, which it's trying to build into the country during this period, but we would still get quite a strong jet stream between Iceland and Scotland, bringing those outbreaks of rain. So the CFS, again, trying to bring an earlier start to the better conditions than I'm expecting. They're going for around the 13th. I think, like I said, we're looking at the 17th or the 18th. But CFS and the JMA now are in agreement, so they're pulling us back towards this date. I don't think that's true. I think we're going to have to look towards about the 17th of the month. Interesting to see what the temperatures do as well. This is week 1 from the CFS. Look, cooler than normal conditions across the UK, and staying with cooler than normal weather across the UK for week 2 as well. That's the average, though, don't forget, through the week. So it's hinting at a warming process taking place. And again, this brings in my 17th, 18th period. Rainfall, well, above all around normal across most of England and also Wales during this spell. Drier up towards the northwest of Scotland, as you can see there. Incidentally, just interesting to pick up on what's going on in the States here. Look, near normal to wetter conditions across central and western parts of the States, but staying dry down these eastern coasts. On to week 2, rainfall for week 2 becoming much drier in the south. You can see here this dry weather edging its way northwards, nearer to wetter than normal conditions across Scotland. And over on the other side of the Atlantic, dry conditions continue across Canada, but more mixed conditions across central and western parts of the states. And then on to week 3, and got high pressure building in during this week on the CFS. It's tending to build this significant ridge in here, which would bring a stronger northwest jet stream down through the north of the North Sea, down into Scandinavia, bringing more unsettled conditions there. But higher pressure, probably centred to the west of the UK, would bring fair conditions during this week, and also pretty warm conditions too. Let's have a look at week 4, and for week 4, still got higher than normal heights dominating across the country. But again, don't forget, this is the mean of the heights throughout the course of the week. So this is the high collapsing away, I feel, and although we've still got the trough here, look, and it's hinting at the big ridge through here, I think what happens is this gets cut off through here, and we tend to more of a westerly flow, particularly if we get a tropical storm or a hurricane in the Atlantic during this period, and I think that's where we're going to go with this. Temperature-wise, well, we're going to be looking at, according to the CFS, temperatures nearer normal during week 3. Look across the UK, but look how cold it is across the west and southern parts of the US. Week 4, looking warmer than normal. They're saying warmer than normal conditions across the UK, taking us from the 27th of September through to the 3rd of October. And, you know, if we do get a tropical storm, then that's entirely possible, because we get the remnants of a tropical storm across us, then you can get a southerly flow which brings in the warmer conditions. And across the states as well, notice that it's become much warmer across Canada, through central parts of the states as well, although western and eastern areas still relatively cold. Rainfall wise, near normal to drier than normal conditions across the UK in week 3, and again week 4 showing quite a sharp contrast between south and north. Across the states, near normal to wetter conditions in week 3, and near normal to dry conditions through week 4. I've been mentioning the states because I've had a few emails off you recently, particularly the farmers amongst you, asking what conditions were like over there. So plenty of information there for you to be going on. Looks like the long-range forecast for the time being is going according to plan. Just a reminder, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. When you come back and use the site, it's that means that we can keep it all free of charge, because that generates revenue for us. But for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.